Alrighty, guys, the chasm between MCU movies is growing wider and wider. Not really, it's actually shrinking. But, metaphorically speaking, because we are not going to get another MCU movie for about a year until Spider-Man Brand New Day. We will not be getting another MCU movie until July 2026. And then after that, Avengers Doomsday. And all eyes are really on Avengers Doomsday. I'm super excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day, although with all the characters that are going to be in the movie of Scorpion and maybe Tarantula and Boomerang and Mr. Negative and Hulk and Punisher, I did a crazy movie. I have no idea what to expect from this movie. But anyways, we're here to talk about Avengers Doomsday because after Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be the event film of all event films since Avengers Endgame, really. Avengers Doomsday, bringing together the X-Men, bringing together the Fantastic Four, the new Avengers, the not original Avengers, but current Avengers, and it's going to be really, really exciting. Now, one of the characters that is obviously going to headline the film because he has been a part of the Avengers, he's been a part of the MCU since 2011, is Chris Hemsworth's Thor. He has been one of the only characters, if not the only character, now Tom Holland's joining him, but one of the only characters in the MCU to ever get a fourth solo film. And he has been a mainstay. He has been one of the main characters, despite the fact that people would argue Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Chris Evans, Captain America, are more of the heart and soul of the MCU, or were, at the very least. Chris Hemsworth's Thor has actually maintained his status as one of the original Avengers that has taken a prominent role in the current MCU. And a while ago, Chris Hemsworth posted something on his Instagram. It was a little bit of a tribute video where he said thank you to, something about a long journey playing Thor and whatnot, and it was an appreciation, gratitude post video. And people flipped out because people all of a sudden were like, wait a second, is this Chris Hemsworth saying that he's going to say goodbye to Thor? Is that what this is? And so now he's gone on and done an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, and he's basically said, no, it's not. We'll read the quote, and then we'll talk about whether or not we believe him. So again, he's doing an interview with The Hollywood Reporter here. He's actually talking about a whole lot of extra things here, but this is what he had to say about his MCU post. He said, quote, "I had a few people ask me about it, and someone on my team said, ugh, we've given the wrong impression here. We didn't do damage control. There was no damage control necessary. But a lot was read into a little. I was already off starting another chapter of this character, and this journey has been the biggest part of my career. So the video was a moment of gratitude, and it wasn't anything else. But it definitely got misconstrued and perceived in a different way." So that's what he had to say about that video. Now, let's play a little bit of devil's advocate. Let's play both sides. Let's see what comes of it. Because I think that there are valid reasons. To think that both he is trying to cover up for the fact that his character actually is about to leave. His character is not going to make it past Avengers Doomsday. Or that he really just did get misconstrued. So let's just play the argument of he just got misunderstood. And he, again, Thor is fine. Thor's going to, because there are a lot of rumors going around about Thor 5. So let's just assume he's fine. I mean, do we really think that Marvel would have let him post an appreciation tribute video if his character actually was going to die in Avengers Doomsday? The closest we've ever gotten to an actor getting away with that was Mark Ruffalo spoiling the ending, basically, of Avengers Infinity War and playing it off as a joke. Do we really think Marvel's publicists would actually let Chris Hemsworth post the video if his character was actually going to die in Doomsday? It doesn't make sense. And I think that in that case, yeah, I mean, maybe he was just feeling extra grateful that day. He's like, I'm starting off another chapter of Thor, and we got Doomsday, we got Secret Wars, I'm going to reunite with Hiddleston, and then I'm going to do Thor 5, it's going to be amazing. And he was like, thank you so much for allowing me to be Thor. Maybe that's all it was. So that's one side of the argument. Other side of the argument is that he is feeling sentimental because he is actually not going to make it through Avengers Doomsday. Marvel contacted him, and they were like, hey, don't do that. Do an interview and say otherwise, because you can't say that. You cannot put this video out there and then have people speculating so much that they think that you're not going to make it past Avengers Doomsday. And so he does this interview and he says, yeah, I'm going to be fine. What do I think? Honestly, I think it makes too much narrative sense. I'm not even talking about his comments or his video or anything like that. I'm just talking about narratively. I think it makes too much narrative sense that he's not going to make it in past Avengers Secret Wars at the very least. I don't know about Doomsday. But I think he's, not making it past Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, I think makes too much sense because I mean, he is an original Avenger, but to show that Doctor Doom means business, you got to let a couple characters go. And it's really sad to say that, but Thor might be one of them, right? And also Chris Hemsworth, like we said, by the time Avengers Doomsday comes out, he will have been playing the character for 15 years. And that's a good run. And I'm not saying I don't want to see Thor again. I do. I really do. But I'm saying that in order to show that Doctor Doom means business, I just think that it makes narrative sense. I would say, just purely based on that, I would think that we're not going to see Thor for much longer. And I just based on Thor Love and Thunder as well, I think that we're going to get a really proper send-off for Thor, especially now that he's going to probably reunite with Loki in these films. I just think it's more likely than not. So, in terms of PR speak, in terms of whether or not this was a cover-up or whether or not Chris Hemsworth was actually misunderstood, I don't know. I think there are arguments to be made for both sides. I just happen to think that this doesn't confirm or deny my suspicions that this is going to be one last hurrah for Chris Hemsworth as Thor. What do you guys think about that, though? Do you guys think that Chris Hemsworth will make it past Avengers Doomsday, or do you think he'll make it past Doomsday but not make it past Secret Wars? Let me know in the comments down below.